This is Janice May. We went out there that morning. That's at the old entrance of the cave where the creek runs out. And the creek was up and running real wild and making loud noise. And if Janice May hadn't went in, I don't think I would have that day. We are Jaggers and me, ready to go in. Waded in, the water was about up to your waist and running out. Some of the formations inside. We went in that cave several times before it was bought and commercialized. In fact, we had a chance to buy that land out there, 120 acres in the cave for $10,000. And Jaggers come up here and didn't seal the deal, and somebody bought it out from under us. And here we are going back one of the upper passageways. This is the same passageway. The stream goes through some rimstone dams there. I think that's Cecil. I think that's about the very next day. This is back in about 1968, 69 probably. This is Cecil the next day. We're going to a little cave up there around DePaul. I think it's called Ladder Cave. That's Cecil coming out of a cave up around that ridge in DePaul. There's about 3 little caves along the ridge up there. We went with George Jaggers and Cravens and a guy named Gary Smith, I believe. He owns Marengo Caverns now. Gary Smith does. And there we are. Me going into one of the little caves up around DePaul. This is back in the 60s, 68, 69. That's Cecil going through a passageway in front of me there. Going into another little room. And that's me coming through after him, I think. And this is Cecil. This is some little formations down that little lower room there. These are still caves up around DePaul. And that's Cecil. And I think this is over at Craven's place in New Albany. After I came back, everybody's unloading all the junk. That's George Jaggers sitting on the tailgate, and might be Cecil bending over there. That's a hornet's nest. It's down in around Potosi, Missouri. Jaggers and me went down there one day, and we parked the car under that hornet's nest. Didn't even know it. Got back in the car, slamming the doors, and get ready to go, and the hornets came out and started hitting on the windows, but they didn't bother us while we were getting in and out. Down in south of Missouri, down around a little place called Potosi. Those are area of is abandoned. They used to mine hematite down there, iron ore. And we just go down there and wander around those old abandoned mines and pick up rocks and minerals. And that's old cow that confronted us down there one day in the road. That's the old 68 Volkswagen Squareback there. That's Eric and Janice May in a big old cave down on the Illinois side of on the Mississippi River bluffs there. We went up there. Somebody told us about it. It was supposed to be a big bottomless pit in the back of it. We went way back in there. It was about a 10-foot hole in the floor. That's Eric. He was about probably 4 or 5. This is where we were stationed down in St. Louis back in the late 60s there. Lived in Collinsville, Caseyville area down there. We used to go caving with George Jaggers on the weekend. And there's Eric, Janice May, and George in the same cave there. Here's Eric and Janice looking back out over the Mississippi River bottoms there toward Missouri. Eric and Janice May and a bluff up there overlooking the Mississippi River bottoms. That's me, Eric, in the cave there. Eric's got his flashlight and his canteen, his hard hat. There's a shot of Eric getting ready to go on his own. We used to explore a little passage to make sure there's nothing in there, and then sort of tell him to go back in there and look it over. He'd scoot right in. You trying to smell again? Jaegers coming back out of the pit that was supposed to be so deep back in there. This is how we got around on the weekends down there a lot of times. We'd been a backcountry down there, and the only way across the river was an old ferry boat. This is somewhere down south of St. Louis in the Mississippi River. Or down just probably north of Cairo. Here we are getting ready to set out. Early on a Saturday morning. We lived at Caseyville. That's our trailer in the right there. We had lived in a bottle lot in the trailer subdivision down there at Caseyville. And here we are tanking up before we go in. Using the old 68 square back there. This is a cave that was south of Collinsville down along the Mississippi River. You heard about it. It turned into a big old sewer tube. Went for miles and miles. George looking down into one of the lower passages. It's about three level cave. And the lower level had water running through it. You can walk along the second level and look down and see the water. There's Eric and George looking down into the water. Here's Janice May, Eric, and George, same cave. Janice May sitting in the upper level, dangling her feet down in the lower level. Here's Janice May and Eric. Janice May come down with crawl space. That's me again. That's me again.